Hi, in today's video we are going to study SVG in detail. First we will see how to use SVG element, what is the coordinate system that is used by SVG, and we will also look into shapes of SVG which can be drawn like line, rectangle, circle, ellipse and text. SVG is basically scalable vector graphics which provides different shapes such as lines, rectangles, circle, ellipse, arcs or text which can be created to visualize in a form of graphic. So SVG is a text-based image. It is having similar structure as of HTML and it also supports DOM. Here SVG properties are specified with attributes to set elements customized. It also uses absolute positioning, that means we have to specify absolute coordinates whenever we are drawing a particular SVG element. An SVG tag looks like SVG space width and height of an SVG. This SVG is similar to your canvas or an area over which we are going to draw different graphics or shapes. Now let us see how to create an SVG tag with D3. Now this is the basic structure of an HTML file. We can create an SVG tag with the help of D3.select and append command. So we will first select our body tag which is inside HTML tag and here we will append new tag called as an SVG. So SVG tag is appended. Along with that SVG tag we also need to set its attribute like height and width. Otherwise we won't be able to find out where an SVG canvas or SVG element is. So here we are specifying height attribute in terms of pixels. Say height of SVG tag is 300 as well as another attribute of SVG is width. Say width of SVG tag is 500 pixels and at the end we will put semicolon. So with the help of D3.select we are selecting a body tag and within that body tag we are appending a new tag SVG with height is equal to 300 and width is equal to 500 pixels. We can save this file, say for example svg example.html and I can view this file in a browser. This is an svg example.html file. Right click it and open it with Google Chrome. So here you cannot see any graphics. Let us see where SVG have been rendered. Go to right click and inspect element or simply press Ctrl+Shift+I. That will open up your elements window. Now within an element expand this body tag. As you can see here within a body there is an SVG tag. So this SVG tag is 500 by 300 pixels. The width of this SVG canvas is 500 and height is 300 pixels. We can draw any shapes like line, rectangles, circle and ellipses within this coordinates. That is 500 by 300. Before we start drawing our shapes, let us see what is the coordinate system that is used by SVG. The top left corner of a browser is the coordinate with 0, 0, that is x and y coordinates are 0. As you progress towards the right, x value goes on increasing and as you progress from top to bottom, your y value is increasing. Say for example, this particular edge or this particular corner of rectangle is 200, 150. That is x coordinate of this pixel is 200, that is it is 200 pixels from the left edge of your system towards the right and it is 150 pixels down towards the top corner of your browser. So the very next corner of rectangle is on the same x coordinates from your left x-axis. So here coordinate number of x value is same, that is 200, but it is having more y coordinates as compared to the top element pixel. So the coordinate value of y is here 200. That means the difference between top pixel and bottom pixel of corners of rectangle is of 50 pixel. Or I can say the rectangle is having height of 50 pixel. So this is how coordinate of SVG works. Now let us see how to draw a line within an SVG area. We can draw a line with the help of line tag. Now line tag uses 4 attributes. First attribute is x1, which is giving the x coordinate of very first pixel. Second coordinate is y1, which is y coordinate of first pixel. Likewise, we also must have x2 and y2, that is x and y coordinate of another pixel or another point. We all know line is made up of 2 points, that's why we will have 2 points in total to draw a line. So x and y coordinate of first point is x1 and y1 respectively. For second point, x and y coordinates are denoted by x2 and y2. So the complete tag within an SVG will look like to draw a line is line x1 is equal to x1 value, y1 is equal to y1 value. Similarly, x2 is equal to x2 value and y2 is equal to y2 value. And we also need to specify stroke so that the color of the line can be specified. If you do not specify stroke color, then line will be of white color or in default color. You will not be able to find out that line that is rendered over a page. That's why we will supply stroke value. So stroke argument takes as a value of color with which line can be drawn. Say for example, I want to draw this particular line using D3 code. I must know what is x1 and y1 of first point. So first is nothing but topmost point, whose x value is given by displacement from the left and y value is given by displacement from top. Similarly, x2 and y2 are the coordinates of x and y for left and top of another or second point. Let us draw this particular line using D3. So in the same file where I have already created an SVG, now I will first select D3.select SVG tag because it is just rendered, and we will append one line at the end, and let me set attribute. So here we have to supply 4 coordinates for this line tag. We will add these attributes to line tag with the help of attr method. So attr method will use to set x1, y1, x2 and y2 respectively. Be very careful with these coordinates because the coordinates or the size of SVG is 500 by 300. So make sure you use only those coordinates that are within 500 and 300. Let me draw this line as 100, 10 and say 50 and 70. So randomly setting these attributes, saving a page, go to the page and refresh. As you can see, line is being there, but it is not getting drawn just because we have not specified its stroke. So to set a stroke, we will set another attribute attr and supply argument as stroke and say value of stroke is comma within the double quotes we will write black. Save this document and refresh the page. Here you can see the line is there. Now to change the color of lines, you can simply change the color of the stroke. I can also vary the width of the line with the help of attr attribute and altering its stroke width property. So I'll write down stroke hyphen width. Stroke width is comma, say for example I want 10 pixel thick line, so I will set my stroke width to 10. Simply save this page scroll here and refresh. Here, as you can see, now my line is 10 pixels. Previously, by default, it was 1 pixel wide. Now, with this attributes like x1 and y1, x2 and y2, you can change the size of line. Next shape within an SVG that we are going to study is rectangle. Now, attribute rectangle can be drawn within an SVG area with the help of rect tag. It will also require 4 attributes. Attributes are x and y, width and height of rectangle. So complete rectangle tag will look like red x is equal to x coordinate of first point of rectangle and y is equal to value of a pixel of first coordinate of rectangle, whereas width is equal to the width of rectangle in pixel and height is also is equal to height of the rectangle in a pixel, followed by rect completion tag. Say for example, we want to create or we want to draw this particular shown rectangle with the help of D3. I must know the top left corner of this rectangle. So that particular point must have an x coordinate and y coordinate that is being given by x and y. Similarly, I must know what will be the width of rectangle and what will be the height of rectangle. Let us draw this particular rectangle over our SVG canvas. Coming to the editor, again I will write down D3.select SVG and we will append a rectangle instead of line. So I'll write D3.select SVG and here we will supply or append rect. Now this also requires supplying some attributes. Now we will require 4 attributes. Let us say those attributes are x and y, and other 2 attributes are width and height. So x and y coordinates, say rectangle starts from 200 pixels from left and say 100 pixels from top. Width of rectangle is 100 pixel and height of rectangle is, say for example, 100 pixels. So this will be drawn 100 by 100 square. Okay, save this document, go to the web page and refresh it. As you can see, this is a rectangle of size 100 by 100. Okay, I have to draw a rectangle, so I will change its height and width. Say height of this rectangle is now say 200, width is 300 now. And refresh it. Okay, so this is the rectangle that I wish to draw. But here you can see the color of rectangle is by default black. So I need not to set stroke while I am drawing a rectangle. It is compulsory to set a stroke when we are drawing a line. But here I need to change the color of rectangle because I am interested in drawing red rectangle. So we will change another attribute of rectangle with the help of attr method again. And the property is fill. Now this fill property will take a value of color with which we want to set fill color. I will save this document and refresh. So this is the red rectangle that I wish to draw over my SVG area. Next we will see circle in D3 SVG. The tag that is used for drawing a circle is a circle tag with 3 attributes. The attribute is the first attribute is x and y coordinate of center of a circle, and the third attribute is the radius in pixel of a circle. Before I draw a particular circle, I must know what is the center x displacement and what is the y coordinate of that same center of the circle. Also, I must be known what is the radius of a circle in a pixel. So, in order to draw this particular circle over a same SVG area, let us see how to set this particular value. Coming back to Sublime Text Editor, again we will write down D3.select SVG. We will append one tag that is circle. Instead of rectangle, I'll write down circle. Now at the end, I need to append 3 attributes. So x and y coordinates. Along with, we have to also supply radius of a circle. Okay, so coordinates of circles are cx and cy, that is circle x, center x and center y attribute, as well as radius. So here we have set center of a circle cx and cy at 150, 150 and radius of a circle, that is property r, is equal to 60 pixel wide. I'm going to save this document and going to the web page, refresh it and let us see how circles look like. Now this circle is by default black in color, so I can change its value or its color with the help of setting another property with the help of ETTR method, that is fill. So I'll copy and paste it here. Okay, now let me color this particular circle with say blue color. So I'll set its fill style to blue. Refresh it. Your blue circle is rendered over my SVG area on a web page. Next element that we are going to see is ellipse. Ellipse will require 4 attributes, that is the center coordinate of center of ellipse, that is cx and cy, which is nothing but x and y coordinate of center of ellipse. Ellipse require 2 types of radius, horizontal radius, that is rx, and ry, which is nothing but radius of an ellipse in vertical direction. So 4 attributes will be required by ellipse. So in order to draw a particular ellipse, we must know the center coordinate of an ellipse. We know what is the x attribute and y attribute of that particular center of ellipse. In addition with that, we must know what is the x-at radius or horizontal radius, that is rx, and vertical radius, that is ry, of an ellipse. Let us draw this particular ellipse over our same web page. I'm just going to copy and paste same code one more time. So instead of circle, now we are appending ellipse. Say x and y coordinates are 250 and y coordinates are say 50, and here I will supply 2 radiuses, that is rx, and we also need to supply another attribute, that is ry. Alright, so horizontal, let us say radius is 100 and vertical radius is as say 40 is there. And again we can directly skip the fill style, or I can change its value. Say now I wish to draw this ellipse in green color. I'll save this document, go to the web page and refresh it. Here you can see center of ellipse is at 250 as an x coordinate and 50 from y coordinate, and radius horizontal of an ellipse is at 100 and vertical radius of the same ellipse is 40, and it is also green in color. Now next we will see how to position a particular text in a SVG area. Text will require 2 attributes as the compulsory, x and y coordinate of a text, where we have to render that particular text over an SVG area. So within the opening and closing of text element or tag, we are going to write down the actual text that we want to render. And x and y coordinates are the properties of text tag, which will specify the position of a text over an SVG area. We can also supply 2 optional arguments such as font family to change the font style of a particular text, as well as we can also change the size of font with an attribute font -size. Say for example, we want to write down this hello world string over an ellipse. So for that, I must know the displacement of x, that is x and y, values of text from where I have to begin its rendering. The font size is also changed. Let us write this hello world over an ellipse. Again, I am going to write D3.select D3.select SVG. Now I have to append new tag, that is the tag name is text, and The attribute that we are going to set is x value. The x attribute is nothing but say center of an ellipse is 250, 50. So I would like to write down my text which is starting from center of ellipse. So I will say apply same x and y argument as of ellipse. So let me just copy these values. Okay, instead of cy, here attributes are only x and y. Other attributes are text attribute. So I'm going to set its text as, the text I would like to display is hello world. And I also would like to change its attribute, that is font size. So your attribute is say font hyphen size. I would like to display my content which is 20 pixel wide. So I will simply save it, go to the web page and refresh it. As you can see, hello world is displayed, but it is going outside my ellipse. Let me take more towards the left. To take it more inside an ellipse, I must reduce my x coordinate. So instead of 250, let me say it is 230. Save and let us check. Yes, it is now correct. So hello world is displayed within an ellipse. You can also change the attributes x and y respectively to position this particular hello world in its correct place. Next, we will see an opacity of color. So whatever color that we have filled or we have rendered an element with is by default having opacity is equal to 1. Opacity is referring basically to the transparency of a color. So basically, we are not setting its opacity, it is by default 1 in color. That means the color will be completely solid. If I want to make it translucent or somewhat transparent, I must change its opacity value to go nearest to the 0. So as here you can see the changes in the opacity value is from 1 to 0.8. The shade will be much lighter or much transparent in a color. If I change or I reduce opacity more, that is up to 0.5, it is also lightening the color same way. So we can change the attribute of color with the help of style property. Thank you everyone for watching this video. This is Munira Topia signing off.